Hey, what's up? Vihan here. Now I want to ask you to take a moment to think about the last time that you were able to truly focus on the work that you were doing, without any distractions and without working on something else simultaneously. It probably doesn't happen all that often. So today I want to talk to you about how multitasking can actually be a negative force in your life and decrease your output a whole lot. Before we get started, don't forget to drop a like on this video, support the channel, and subscribe with your notifications turned on for new videos every single week. Alright, let's get to it. There have been many studies discussing multitasking and why it isn't the best. One piece of research at Stanford found that multitasking is less productive than doing a single thing at a time. The researchers also found that people who are regularly bombarded with several streams of electronic information cannot pay attention, recall information, or switch from one job to another, as well as those who complete one task at a time. Multitasking carries with it a side effect called attention residue, which means that whenever you switch to a new task, there's a little bit of that previous task that consumes a part of your attention, which prevents you from concentrating and maximizing your productivity. Conquering attention residue has been a big part of what Cal Newport discusses in his book, Deep Work. Every time you switch the focus of your attention from one subject to another, you also incur what's known as a cognitive switching penalty. The cognitive switching penalty is the effort and time that it takes to achieve flow and focus on a task. This exists because your brain needs to reorient itself to a particular task in order to work efficiently. And every time we jump from one task to another, we face this cognitive switching penalty. In fact, single tasking or working on one task may appear simplistic, but you're actually reaching a higher quality of output. And when multitasking, there will be an illusion of busyness because of the volume of work, but you're likely just wasting your time and not getting enough efficient results. Now, there are plenty of jobs that require you to multitask and be flexible with managing different items. This is actually a job requirement on many listings. You may even see it as a minimum requirement for many jobs. What this is actually asking of you is not for your ability to work on multiple things at the same time, but instead your ability to switch to a different task if something more urgent comes up. The truth is that we can actually do a bunch of different things at the same time, but what we cannot do is truly focus on two things at the same time. Think of it like this. Your focus is a lot like a zoom lens, where you can choose to zoom in and narrow in your focus on one thing to see all the details. You can also zoom out to increase your awareness of a wider area, but you won't get the finer details of any one thing. The issue here is that you cannot be zoomed in and out at the same time. And that is the same with your brain's ability to focus. You might feel like you have the ability to do it, but it's also important to understand that that's just not the way that your brain is wired. Your brain's ability to process information with speed and agility is very strong, but we have what's called a short-term working memory, which is your ability to consciously absorb that information at any given moment. This is simply what you are aware of and are able to focus on. Author Nicholas Carr looked into the relationship between our brains and information and provided some more context to how multitasking affects our working memories.
And when we take in too much information at once, what happens inevitably is that we start having this phenomenon where things are coming into and out of our working memory, into and out of our consciousness really, really quickly. Because as soon as you take in a new bit of information through whatever screen you happen to be looking at, some other piece of information your working memory has to exit in order to make room for the new piece of information.
Simply put, this leads to cognitive overload when you're asking your mind to do more than what it is capable of. Focused work is extremely beneficial because it helps you filter out unnecessary information that may not be relevant to you at that time. It also means that you may miss things that you are not focused on even if it's right under your nose. This effect is called inattention blindness. Surprising how everything has a name, right? So how can you stop multitasking? In my case, prioritization of items on my to-do list has proven to be the most effective. There are plenty of effective prioritization strategies that you could use, like the Eisenhower Matrix or the Ivy Lee method, which can provide you with a framework for that prioritization. I've made videos on those that I'll link down below the like button for you, so definitely check them out. I've also been time boxing my tasks and setting a fixed block of time to work on specific things. You'll often find that you don't need the entire time block because without all the distractions, everything gets done much easier and much faster. Distractions are pretty much everywhere, and you need to be conscious of eliminating them altogether. Nothing takes us into multitasking territory faster than when a new notification pops up on our phone. Whether it's Twitter, email, or chat, these little pop-ups shoot signals into your brain that there's new information available, and you shouldn't miss out, so don't. So I started taking this into my own hands and keeping my phone out of sight, out of mind, so that I have no choice but to zero in on the task at hand. To be perfectly honest, I'm often tempted to do a bit of multitasking just because it feels like I'm getting more done. But I have to check myself and remember that that's simply not the way that my brain is wired, and I'm better off committing to one thing at a time. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know down in the comments below whether you've struggled with multitasking and focus just like I have, or even if you haven't, let me know in the comments. Catch you next time. Bye-bye.